Hello and welcome to the first episode of SimSoaps crossover with EastEnders and Coronation Street. Technically, this is the second episode because the first episode I did, the audio for the in-game overshadowed my voice, so you couldn't hear me at all, which I was really disappointed. So just forget about everything you know about EastEnders. Okay, so during lockdown, EastEnders, Coronation Street and Emmerdale, all three top soaps in the UK, have aired pre-recorded episodes throughout the lockdown in the UK. Now they've all run out, apart from Coronation Street. They've still got some episodes to air still, but Emmerdale have recently gone back to recording new episodes, and they're doing the lockdown period. EastEnders have just run out at the critical point where we see here my version of the Queen Vic has changed hands. But just like I said, forget everything you know about EastEnders. I have made my own version with current and obviously characters from the past, and sadly are no longer with us. So I've crossed them over with each other in The Sims. Now I've made my own Queen Vic. Any other characters, or not just characters, but the sets, anyone who's played The Sims will probably have their own ideas. Obviously my set version is obviously smaller and probably not as good as it can be, but do you know what? This is the base Sims game on Xbox, and you can only do so much. So I'm playing this on Xbox One. Okay, so when I stopped recording, which should have been the first episode, I think I'm on Phil Mitchell. Oh no, there's Phil Mitchell. He's washing his hands. He had a go at Frank for something. I think in the actual soap they did have words. Okay, so Corrie here, you've got Geoff and Yasmin. So Geoff has been putting Yasmin through hell in Corrie, and I've tried to replicate that here. Yasmin is such a free spirit. She's very popular. She's a pillar of the community. Geoff come into her life. His son Tim is in the soap, and you know, he settled in with Yasmin, and a lot of history's come out about how much he's abused his ex-wife and other people in his life. But they seem to be sitting comfortable in the pub. So you got Pat Butcher, who died in EastEnders, I think 2012. But I've got her in here because she's a fan favourite. We've got Jean Slater. She is another favourite. She's bipolar, and she has been battling cancer, which she won recently. Phil Mitchell, he's like that old East End traditional person who you don't mess with. He's like an East End gangster that you don't mess with. You don't mess with Phil. You don't mess with any of the Mitchell family. And in the last episode, he's kicked Pat out to get this pub back in the Mitchell name. Now, obviously, in the real soap, this hasn't happened. So, quick tour to Queen Vic. Upstairs is probably different. I've tried to make this into a 3-bed. Best I can. So, I don't know why Jean's up there. This normally reserved for obviously the household. Okay, so it's got a little bit of a Corrie feel to some of these buildings, which I like. You know what? These houses are props. Okay, these are props. These are not meant to be realistic to EastEnders or Corrie, but they do have a little a feel, not a Phil Mitchell, but a feel to a little bit of Corrie. I mean, houses in Britain anyway are really small, so I mean, you know, trying to design houses just as props is difficult in itself. I think these houses are bigger than the houses over there, over the other side, which we will visit later on. I even tried to add a little square, this little bit here, which in EastEnders, this is the focal garden that people come in. I haven't added I should add benches really to the square. Albert Square, which is where is the area that it's located in Walford, a fictional place. But I think, you know what, it's not bad. Probably other simmers have done much better job than I have, but I'm very proud. This took me a long time to do, and you know what, I've been working on this project for the last few months during lockdown. I haven't worked on it every day, just every other week. So Peggy is Phil's mum. She died, I think, 2017, something like that. She came out of it. But now in real life, Barbara Windsor, who plays Peggy Mitchell, is suffering Alzheimer's or dementia, which is terribly sad because, you know, she's a fan favourite, and she was in the Carry-Ons as well, which some of you may remember the Carry-On films, and you know what, she's got a very dirty laugh as well. So we're gonna try and get. I don't know why Phil is sad. I mean, he's normally grumpy rather than sad. So he's talking with Geoff. So I don't know what they're discussing. So you know what, it gives Geoff a break from yelling at Yasmin. Frank is in a terrible mood. He's sort of like those wheeler dealer type blokes, you know. He's always not just wheeling and dealing, but a womanizer. I think I can't, you know, those older EastEnders fans, you know, help me out here with Frank. I mean, he was always unfaithful to Pat, wasn't he? So I'm sure those two characters are in heaven now, still probably arguing. So we got here come the other cast members who live across the street, literally. Look, I didn't realise when I made these two. You got Claudia, who is or was with Ken, both out of Coronation Street. Ken is the original character from Coronation Street from the 1960 onwards. Liz McDonald has also been there for a while. The random sim. We have here Dot Cotton, Bible basher, I think would be the wrong term, but she does love her Bible. She quotes many Bible quotes, chapters, verses, etc. I don't know who's over the other side now. I mean, look, this is a form of abuse. I hope eventually she will just snap and just deck him. I mean, this is what happened in the actual soap. So this isn't just me being mean, but I'm being mean to replicate it. Right, so now he's got to be careful because Frank Butcher is about. He's probably overhearing some stuff, but he can't get in. So what's he going to do with Geoff? So he's having a go at Geoff. I think he's overheard it. He said, "Don't treat her like that. Don't you dare treat her like that." So welcome to the Laundrette, famous in EastEnders. Huge, big part of EastEnders history, which was run by obviously Dot Cotton, the matriarch of the Laundrette. If you wanted something, or she'll do it and give you some advice along the way. Next door is the cafe. No, I haven't created Kathy, but Kathy, Kath. I don't know who was the original owner of the Kath, but it's been a big part of the Beale Empire, because Ian and Kathy are mother and son, and I haven't created them, which, you know what, I could create 1,000 EastEnders and Corrie characters, but we could always get Ben Mitchell to do it, to run the cafe, can't we? He can serve the customers. But I've also built a couple of flats above it, so you know what, if the residents wanna go up here and use the facilities. There's Ben Mitchell. So Ken, the stalwart of the street. It's been in Corrie since it first began. Steve, quite I don't know if bashful's the right word, but he's quite one of those characters that always puts his foot in it, always gets it wrong. He's a simple character. He's like a simple bloke, just going about his business. Stuff happens, and you know what? It ends up going wrong for Steve. Whatever can go wrong happens to go wrong for Steve. He's just unlucky. He's just a bit. He's just one of those characters. Unfortunately, you know what? But looks nothing like Steve, the real Steve McDonald, of course. But apart from the hairline, that's about it. Stacey from EastEnders. Stacey is Jean's daughter, who has the same mental health condition as her mum, bipolar. There's Doc going to sit beside her, probably sharing words of wisdom with her. Stacey can turn just like that, a click of a finger, and you know what? She can have a mental breakdown over something trivial. She has children, obviously, but you know what? I'll be here all day creating her kids. She's got 3 kids. You know what? There's not really much more you can say about this episode. Just a warm introduction, and I'm hoping that we can move on from this episode and to get some storylines going. You know what? Any suggestions, I'll be grateful. But we are going to leave it there today, folks, because you know what? I'm just repeating myself. So Steve and Stacey are going to have a little chat, get to know each other. This is what the crossover is all about. Until next time, peace out, everyone.